Colin Cowherd. What's up, Turbo? You know, Colin for a fact. Colin Cowherd is going to be promoting the volume on his show on FS1. So those are marketing dollars from FS1. Now you got the competitor that Shannon Sharpe is on for 2 days a week. Disney might be Apple soon. Apple might buy ESPN. Now you got Apple money involved with your name involved. Add to that the YouTube name. You're all over YouTube. All these guys want to be connected to Shannon Sharpe on YouTube because he's always going viral. Like, if you're Shannon Sharpe, I think it's the best deal out there possible. Especially as a dude who's PC like that. He's not Cameron. Like Cam's deal, like I was just asking before you guys got on, whose deal is better, Cam's or Shannon Sharpe or Pat McAfee? I just think Shannon Sharpe's gonna have so much marketing dollars behind him. It's too crazy.
That's probably perspective. You know what I'm saying? That's probably perspective. You know, we all love Cam and how him and Mace run that show. And so now they get some dollars from Underdog, and now it's like, okay, that's dope. But we know how they're gonna present their show. Mm-hmm. Shannon's not like that. So he's gonna have to go somewhere where they're gonna be okay with how he presents it.
Do you think Cam and them is gonna water down the show a little bit?
Nah.
Hell no. Water down the bag behind them?
Nah.
Hell no. The underdog works with Gil and Gil's shit is, you know, they be on there bugging out too. So
yeah, perfect.
And I think they're gonna take it uptown to the gambling spot. I think like Cam he be having strippers on the halftime show. Like,
nah, he said he really. Like, I watched him a while ago. He was like, man, we really got inside sources. This ain't a game. We got real inside sources. Like, we connected with players. Players done connect us with other people behind the scenes. Like, it's not a game. That's what he said. He's like, yo, we got real connects.
But I think because what you're saying with Lonzo Ball and Homeboy from the Buffalo Bills shooting shots at Stephen A. Smith, because he has fake connects. That's crazy. You saw Lonzo Ball, he's like, yo, he started standing up on one knee.
Yeah.
It's just Stephen A's sources ain't the same way they was 15 years ago. That's how I feel. Like he's still connected. I would never think he's not connected. But you a corporate nigga now. You not at every game, you're not in the arenas, you're not a beat writer no more. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do now. So you're not on the sidelines in the locker rooms no more. So you ain't gonna be as connected as these other niggas like a Chris Haynes. A nigga like Chris Haynes jumped out. Would you say
my bad?
No, go ahead, bro.
You was talking. You got the floor. My bad.
No, I was just saying that like a nigga like Chris Haynes, all these dudes that still be in the locker rooms now, you know, when they jump out there and say cat, dog, mouse, you know, whatever.
Right.
That shit holds validity because them niggas is in there. You know, Stephen A., you on ESPN First Take 5 days a week for 2 hours a day.
Right. Like, I was about to get to that.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't in the streets. I
do. I go around, watch different people, different programs, different podcasts. I did turn into Call Me Brown for a second, and he was like, man, a lot of this stuff people are not going to want to believe it. It's clickbait. They don't have nothing to talk about. They're on TV every day, like you said. The basketball season is over, so he might have a source, and it might not be his source.
Yeah, I agree. He jumped out there this morning because Lonzo was, you know, questioning his source. A couple other guys questioning his sources.
What was the rebuttal? What he say? I ain't hear what he said.
The rebuttal.
Lonzo?
You talking about Stephen A. or Lonzo?
I'm talking about Stephen A. I seen what Lonzo did, but Stephen A. came back today or whatever.
You know, so Stephen A.'s rebuttal is, I'm not gonna address Lonzo. I'm gonna look, Mel. I'm not gonna address Lonzo. I'm gonna address the Magic Johnson Steph Curry debate, and I'm a read a text message directly sent to me from Michael Jordan. So now I'm a flex like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a flex like that. I ain't gonna say, oh, you know, I might have jammed that up with Lonzo.
Now, did Mike really text? Did he show the text message?
He ain't show the text, but he said, Mike Mike.
I heard that.
Yeah, right. Mike asked me to talk about this, publicly. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, so now you trying that. That's the flex to respond
that's
to.
True.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So.
We'll get to that in a second with Magic and point guards. Nick Pillow says Shannon gets to keep his ownership and isn't locked into anything long term where he's on the leash, and that's the goal. That's the thing with the volume. You keep your own individual, your own individual podcast on your own channel too, including other platforms like Spotify. Spotify's another one where you're gonna get Spotify money. Like you don't. The fact that Flea, think about it. All of us on here, Rockstar Mel, Turbo ain't got a YouTube channel. You need a YouTube channel, Turbo. Get it together.
I do. I'm having a hard time trying to post all my stuff on there for some reason.
We'll get you there. But imagine all four of us have a show, and then you're on, Flea's on FS1. I'm on Underdog. Mel's on ESPN. Turbo's at NBC. Like that. Remember, that's all going to YouTube and Twitter and social media. That is amazing. And then you're not locking in the Club Shay Shay thing to anything. So now you have it with Colin. Colin, remember, if he's up for his contract is up next year, he's saying it's worth $100 million. I heard Marcellus Wiley say somebody's getting $100 million bag this year already. Colin Cowell's gonna have a bidding war because I don't even watch that dude. I don't even like Colin Cowell. I think you talk about clickbait. He says a whole bunch of bullshit. So for him, I just think it makes sense, bro. Because I think that's what I didn't like about Shannon Sharpe talking like he doesn't like disrespecting players and all that. They all disrespect players, and whoever you sign with is disrespecting players, and you're co-signing that off, by default. So when he said that, I'm just like, that was stupid. And then with Colin, it's just a year from now, if you're up for a re-up and you're gonna go into a bidding war with all these companies, that's even more money.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everything a money play.
Yeah, man.
And I think I think everything is about to change as far as the sports world and the analysts and who do people coming to for the information on a daily basis or whoever they want to hear. Like the field is open. Like it's not just ESPN no more. Like it's wide open for everybody to try to find a book and come up.
My TV on very often, Mel. I could tell you how many times a week, not even a day, a week, I turn the TV
right
to like look at anything.
Years. I ain't no friend. I got a laptop. I got a fucking iPad.
I hardly ever watch TV.
I got a TV in my living room for the games and stuff. Right, like that's
right. But the same people that you do tune into, right? Let's say it's through Instagram or Twitter or YouTube, wherever it is. That's who ESPN is signing. That's why I think. First of all, going back to your comment,
but that could easily be anybody nowadays.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
but anybody can get on and say,
like, you feel me? Like, if Flea keep on doing this thing, you back Flea get fucking KD on the show, KD looping with somebody, boom, Flea is on there. He one of them ones. That easy nowadays.
Y'all see the little Spanish nigga that look like Fabian running around with KD. Y'all see the
first of all, he look like me.
Eddie Gonzalez or whatever his name is that be running around with KD. Y'all know
I'm mad corny, bro. How you gonna?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Crazy. I tell you, everybody look like you. Max Strus looks like you.
Max Strus, he looks like you, man.
Like mad Spanish niggas. You look like 70% of Uptown.
He look like everybody.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that this dude was just tweeting at KD. Was just tweeting at him. Like,
well, that's how that started?
Regularly. And
I'm trying to tell you, it's that easy nowadays.
And KD just enjoyed the back and forth banter between him.
Mm-hmm. KD don't care. He'll argue with 14-year-old. He don't care.
But that relationship
was built off of that.
Yeah, it was built off of that. And now this dude
crazy. But that's
he's been able to take that, and now he's connected with Shams and whatever they got. FanDuel. I think he got a deal with FanDuel.
If the guy, if he know his shit.
Right,
exactly. That's what I love that. That's what the internet is for shit like that.
Exactly.
That's what the social media is for shit
I was
like
just
that.
about to say that, Mel. Like, but are we going to that guy for anything?
But
I
that's
don't-
my problem because
Nothing.
it's like, all right, I don't know if he's an expert, so I'm not gonna listen to him more than I listen to you or all ball.
Yeah,
You feel me? Like,
yeah.
Hmm.
Like I'd rather like the way. Look, we're gonna get back into the mix. Like
Yeah.
we'll be up here till 5 in the morning looking up information, whatever popped up, and we react to it in real time. And then if we have real, you know what I'm saying, real, like once we get the sources for real locked in, because it's difficult sometimes with this. That's why
Right.
Stephen A. Smith jumped out the window. You
I
can't
was
just say
just
whatever they
doing
tell
that.
you.
I was just doing that. Fish was on there talking about Jerry West is his favorite point guard, top 5 point guard. He averaged 27 and 6 dimes. I looked it up. I said he averaged 27 and 6 dimes. How the fuck is your top point guard? Steph Curry numbers are the same.
Right. Yeah.
Is that the segue?
That's the segue?
I
That was
really,
the segue?
I
I
know.
re-
See,
nah, I
was
really
playing,
want to
but
get
I
into
know.
that because I couldn't get into that bag earlier because we was arguing Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Oh,
he,
and
he
that-
hated
and that-
he hated Chris Paul so much
Yeah.
he made it a Chris Paul thing. I ain't want to
Yeah.
say it, like it was not about Chris Paul, but he
Yeah,
made it a Chris
and
Paul thing.
and I was sitting back,
And he was
man.
wilding. He was wilding. about that, and he
Right.
wasn't even-
We love Fish, but that's a personal thing. Fish.
Well, hold on. Listen, I
When you
always
got
say
15 people in the comments saying you wilding to it, and they don't even know Fish.
Yeah.
It was Rome, facts
Yo.
over stats.
I always say, but listen, I
Mad
always
people.
say I disagree with almost everything Fish says, but he's to me, he's so eloquent and he has the one liners. Like out of nowhere, he reversed it. If he would have reversed it and fell back, he would have had y'all. He said, well, if that's all true, how is he the greatest? How is he top 5 points? I said, oh,
Yo,
Fish, yeah.
Fish is
I'm not
ill.
gonna lie.
Fish is ill. Fish is ill with that. Fish is
Yo,
definitely ill with
babe,
that.
what you think it is? I'm not gonna lie because, like, he don't use big words. I guess the way he's taught, because we just had the
No, he's
same conversation
persuasive.
similar
Yeah.
and Flea about the about Jaylen Brown getting signed. Now, I'm not agreeing
Yeah.
with Flea. Like, nah, Flea, you wrong.
Uh-huh.
Fish came up and said the same exact shit Flea said, but differently. I'm like, yeah, you right.
And now,
I don't
and
know
now
who
Mel
the
fuck with it.
fucking shit,
Now
bro.
Mel fuck with the whole
Oh, no,
shit.
you got it, bro.
I'm like, yo, Mel, you my man.
That was
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
bro.
Listen,
Yeah.
some people know how to pimp. It's just they just it's in them. Like they
Right,
just
And I
know how to
felt
say
bad,
it,
but
bro.
I'm like, damn, what the fuck?
Nah, I
Yeah.
hit Mel on the side. Like, Mel, I was saying the same thing, Mel. You know I was saying the same thing. Mel was like, he just laid the ball up a little different, man. I don't know.
More
Like,
jelly on it or something.
yeah, exactly. Word.
But if I mean with that, Steph Curry being better than Magic, I think we've been arguing about that for over a year, and that's like Mel. I think Mel's gonna say Steph, right?
Of course.
Nah,
Wow.
it's
Have
close.
you been watching
No,
Magic
it's
highlights?
close
Is that what it
because,
is?
like, listen, Magic was Magic. Magic made me pick up a basketball and want to become a great passer. Like, it was Magic. Like, damn, how you see that nigga open? It was Magic. You feel
Nah,
me?
Magic set the tone for me.
Right.
On-
And this at a
But
time
then
when I didn't even know.
but Mel, not to cut you off, but here's the crazy part about it. Like all the years that I was knowing about, Magic and Isaiah, like they were like the two dominant point guards in the 80s. But then one time, I think I told you this when we was on live one time. Like I came home one day from a Net game. This is when Jason Kidd was playing with the Nets the first year. And I came home and the game was still on because I got home like around 11:30 or something like that. And then they were like, yo, the Michael Ray Richardson story, former Nick. And I'm like, okay, I never heard of this guy before. And I was like, yo, he was 6'10", because he got drafted before Magic.
Right in the
He was
70s.
supposed to, Michael Ray Richardson was supposed to have been more of the athletic guard of Magic at that time. Like if he didn't go through what he was going through, he would have been like right up there, like in that. They would have been fighting for that top 3, top 2, top number 1 point guards of all time. If he didn't get, I was like, damn. He was like the original Penny Hardaway at that time. That's all I would kind of compare him to, more than Magic.
But
'Cause he
that's
had
part
the
of it though, right?
Like,
That's-
who is
that's
that? Nick
part of it,
Pillow? What is that? Nick Pillow that just that comment said, "Will Magic be top 5 today?"
player today.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
If
I
you
mean,
if
how
you
much-
I
if
how
you-
think
much-
I think we gotta tell the whole Magic story.
And then
Like-
he played with a lot of Hall of Famers, so his
Like
team
let's
was loaded.
let's get there, Mel. For real. Let's get there.
that's
for a second.
that's the first point to start with.
Yeah.
Magic got drafted, right?
Yep. Number one.
Came into the Lakers, who had
Came to
who,
a great franchise. Number
who
one.
was-
What pick was he?
they number
Number
one,
one.
and he was
Number
they,
one.
that
Right. He would have been
team-
on the Bobcats this year.
That team was in the Western Conference Finals the year before, the
Different
the,
time,
the, the
different
series,
era.
the season before, right?
Yeah.
So Magic already comes to a team with that type of cachet, and then you got Kareem on your team. You got Kareem
Right.
Abdul-Jabbar on your team.
But you know what's so crazy
When
about?
it,
Oh, go ahead.
real quick, Turbo, and I'm gonna let you rock. I just think we need to be honest. The ball wasn't handed to Magic as soon as he walked through the door.
No.
Like Norm Nixon was the point guard when he
one of the
walked, and it
most
took-
underrated point
and it-
guards of all time.
and
Don't
it
get
took
enough credit.
and it took 2, 3, maybe even 4 seasons for them to realize that okay, we got to get a ball to Magic and get Norm out of there. They won 2 championships with Norm as the point guard and Magic playing next to him. 2 championships as Norm the starting point guard. So like when we have that conversation about Steph and Magic, like yeah, Magic was great, but there's a story behind Magic and there's a story behind Steph. And if we telling both the stories and looking at them now, like Steph got some time left, so that we don't know what the end of his career looks like. But at this point, from what he was handed when he walked into the league, as opposed to what Magic was handed when he walked into the league, yo man, Steph was dealt a tougher hand than Magic, in my opinion.
I agree.
And he was hurt the first couple of years.
That's true.
And Steph
Right.
had to figure out how to strengthen his body. Right, Mel. How to get his fucking ankles was paper mache. Like how do I work through that?
Mhm.
That's a big fact. Another thing I see y'all unraveling a lot, right? Those for like if they both come into the league at the same time, Magic's gonna play from the get go.
Yeah.
He's not gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
He's not gonna have a jump shot, anything like that. But I believe a star is a star no matter what. I don't care what. Like they're gonna be a superstar. Like Magic Johnson was a superstar. Steph Curry.
I agree with that.
They're
In
not
the era.
So I think Curry's gonna be a star no matter where, no matter what era, because they're superstars now. But I also lends me to believe, like Steph, they changed the rules for him and James Harden. They started like allowing the fouls and all that. If you only calling no fouls, Magic is getting away with murder on offense. And if Joker's doing all that on offense, what do you think Magic's gonna be doing? Like, nah, that's gonna be
No,
unfair.
but at the same time, it was such a wow because it was something we never seen. We never seen a 6'8", 6'9" PG.
Just
He
coming
playing
in.
today. He
Hold
going
on,
against
Mel.
Luka. He going against
yeah,
Prime
but
Ben Simmons. He going against Anthony Hardaway. Them type of dudes.
But Mel, you still think we've seen that? I'm not seeing that. We've yet to see Magic again.
Yeah, true. I
Like,
mean,
he's
Huh?
6'9".
The closest.
I mean, if we keep
Closer
it
to
a buck,
LeBron.
what is LeBron?
He's not Magic.
yeah, I ain't gonna front.
He's
Magic
not
is
passing the
another
ball at
level.
any speed, at half court, full court, transition. It doesn't matter
loosen
what.
loosen that fucking bucket. Hold on a second. Hold
He
on.
just has that.
Hold on.
He
Well,
has
it's not
more
even
than-
I ain't gonna
This is
front.
one of my
His
losers buckets.
levels. I love LeBron God. He don't do that shit how Magic do. Niggas is
And
not excited to run
he
that
don't-
ring when Braun get the ball.
he
Like,
don't-
them niggas is out when
Braun-
Magic
Look,
get
here we
that
go.
ball, boy.
But Mel,
I
he's
ain't
about
gonna front.
Mel,
And
he's
I'm
about
a
to.
Braun God, bro.
Braun
Yeah.
might be one of the best. Braun might be the best passer that all 4 of us ever seen.
But listen, hold on. See,
And that's,
again,
this is
you
what I'm gonna
speak
take.
to-
This is what I'm gonna take Fabian's thing. What he don't like about LeBron. Like he's most effective, or he's gonna make a great decisions after the ball is in his hands for 15 seconds. Soon as Magic get that shit and he radar the floor, that shit could be gone in 4 seconds and it's a bucket.
But
Braun
Mel-
ain't got that.
Mel, hold on, Mel. But are we gonna factor in the fact that, and this shouldn't be a knock on LeBron,
Right.
but Braun has a has more of a bag than Magic. So, you know, Magic knew Magic. Hold on. Magic
No,
knew.
Mel, hold on. Mel's been going to school, baby.
Hold on. Hold on.
This is different.
Magic shooting the basketball, Magic creating a play for himself. Is nowhere near what Bron can create for himself. So just having that option,
but it ain't far.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Just having an option. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yo, Magic,
bag ain't deep, man. This shit ain't deep. He gonna try to get the ball, try to go past you, he gonna back it up and then run past you. He gonna do the little shit when he look at the ball.
That it's recency. And you a Bron guy, so it's recency. But let me help you real fast, and let me get you back. Let me get you back where you was at one point. Do we remember that 4 years in Miami?
That was crazy. Yeah.
Okay. So we talking about bags, right? Do we remember that 4 year stretch in Miami? Do we remember the first couple years back in Cleveland? Bag?
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. That's nuts.
Bag? Oh,
it was
different.
Good, but I also think what Mel is trying to say is that Magic kind of like knew his limitations. There was really not much
but
thinking,
that's what I'm saying.
bro.
Bron don't have any.
Bron don't have any, and that kind of works against him. Like he has so many knives in the joint. He's trying to switch blades. He's too busy trying to pick the blade. It's like, bro, just pass the ball or shoot. Do it. Just make the move already. That's always my problem with LeBron when he does that. Because anytime he doesn't do it, you can see the defense scared to death. And it's just like Magic. I'm going up court, full speed, passing the ball. Magic already decided what he was going to do before he did it. Before he got the ball. Before the play happened. All that. LeBron, not so much.
Niggas literally looking at his teammate to the left, passing it to the right wing, while they running at full speed,
that's looking, keeping his head up, like it's
no. You right, Lee. It was nothing. Nobody in the world, probably in the history of the NBA, that could stop that Miami early LeBron.
Yeah, that Bron is different, bro.
Yeah, that I don't know. Magic just did something different for me, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that Bron is up there with Hakeem, Shaq, Jordan, Magic, the best I've ever seen in my life. That's LeBron in Miami. Nah, that's the best I've ever seen in my life. You kidding me? Nah, that was
Miami Bron.
What?
Miami Bron was different.
You heard me talking about that Flea all the time. Mel knows that no threes. You heard Shumpert just talking about it. I sent it to y'all.
When they decide the next season when they came back and they decide not to take no threes like that.
But see, I be thinking about it, right? That Miami Bron, right? But then y'all remember the 2018 season, Bron?
I don't think it was as good.
Oh, right. But I feel like that's the year Harden won the MVP. Bron could have easily got that shit.
He just didn't play.
He
just didn't play.
He didn't
probably miss games. Yeah, he wasn't full throttle from beginning to end. If he does that, it's over. There's no way anyone's choosing James Harden before LeBron in that any season. Any season.
How many games you think? How many games you think Bron played that season? Fabian, real fast.
I'll say
how
69,
many games?
69. Huh? 69.
That is the first time in LeBron's career he played 82 games.
Oh, that's crazy.
82 games and led the league in minutes played.
Oh,
he should have had a defensive player of the year too. Was that his Miami year?
That's
Cleveland year.
No,
that's that 20. That's that 2013 year when Marc Gasol won it.
Oh yeah, Marc.
So that season on Cleveland, he wasn't doing the whole I'm gonna walk up on defense. I'm gonna play in the corner.
Bro, that 2018 season, I was like, yo, what this nigga is different.
So he's what, 32?
33.
End of his prime, smack dead in the middle. By 33, Kobe was kind of
done. Yeah, he was injured.
Yeah,
that was the best. That was the last healthy season for LeBron. Because after that, he go to Cleveland he go to LA and he's hurt that year. That's the growing year. Then the next year is the ankle. Then you know what I'm saying? But that's the last fully healthy Bron.
Here we go. Marc Gasol wins Defensive Player of the Year, but second team All NBA. Here we go.
Yeah, right. That's true.
It's true. Facts and facts ain't got nothing to do about
Nick Pillow. Thanks, Nick. We appreciate you, Nick.
But LeBron is not. He plays point, but he's more of a hybrid. He's more.
Fabian, we can't get Nick up here, or Nick doesn't want to get up here.
He's never clicked the link.
Okay.
I don't listen. If you want,
Nick Pillow, you allowed to kick?
Yeah, nah, because Nick be having a lot of good stuff to say. So I thought maybe he
Nick
wanted
is
to
the
jump
man.
in there.
Hold on. Let me show love
He
to
like-
Jake. Hold on, real quick. Jay Cruz. If Steph wasn't in the Warriors system, would he be a point guard?
Yes, he would.
I think
And
so.
he was a point guard before all that. He only moved to 2 guard because it was the smartest thing to do ever. Curry changed the game of basketball forever. Magic changed the NBA. It's a difference. Land 216.
See?
I agree.
That's what I was saying earlier.
That's
in the
fire.
live.
That's
saying that-
like that's
And
it.
I don't
earlier
get-
in the live, like
Somebody explain that.
The game of basketball, bro. We talking about globally, like the game of basketball. How kids are approaching the game.
got
When
people-
we
we
grew
got
up,
people in the 5th grade shooting from half court right now.
Mel. When we grew up, did we not start with the Mike and drill layups,
Yep.
like
And
layups on
listen,
both sides of the rim?
Yep.
somebody
Now with-
been told me like everything we was taught don't apply no more with Curry. The Steph Curry effect. Like, you talk like you on a fast break, make it the closest man to the basket, make the bounce pass, or like
Right, get 2 points. Yeah,
right. Like or like when you going out to fucking defend.
All Ball TV live on YouTube, y'all.
What you say?
No. I'm on live, but I'm telling people we on YouTube.
All Ball TV. But he's and see this is why I will go with Curry, because no disrespect, even much you seen the praises this gave Magic. I didn't see it in real time. I know what he did, know his legacy, know his credentials, but for me to actually see this shit, like okay, it's cool now to come on to be a 3-on-1 and you take a 3 and it's cool, and that's everywhere in the world now because of one man.
Fact. Yeah.
Like
Crazy.
that is nuts, bro. Like,
Can I say it is?
nuts.
And, yo,
That's-
and Mel and Flea confess to this because we all came around the same time. Like around 20 years ago, everybody wanted to be a dunker. Nobody wanted to shoot. Everybody was trying to be dunkers.
Kids can't even make 3 layups in a row, and they shooting 50-footers.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We
I
all
don't know.
wanted to be dunkers.
And then he destroyed LeBron the way he did LeBron. LeBron kicked him. I felt so bad. Like, damn, I would think it would be somebody like a Wembanyama or a KD that'll be Bron's kryptonite. Nah, it's a little small, light-skinned 6'2" nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like, never in my life I thought I would ever see nothing like this, bro. Like,
I don't know if Magic lived long enough to be the villain, because I've never heard anybody say he ruined the game ever. And I've heard some sprinkles, couple people, not just the whites or the casuals, that Steph Curry kind of messed the game up with that, because it's like, all right, everybody's gonna do that, and then what? That's not basketball.
no. See, what happened is
Steph Curry did what he was good at, though.
right.
And
No,
that-
he
yeah,
right.
how
He
can
didn't
you-
mess the game up for people want to be him. People trying to be him is messing the game up. Steph Curry is doing what he do best. Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm the best shooter in the world, so I can take any shot I want.
Well, can't we say
You
that?
might not be the best shooter in the world. You can't take any shot you want, but you're doing it anyway.
But I've seen,
All right.
well,
Forward.
but Magic was doing what he was supposed to be, what he was best at. Magic was doing what nobody else has ever been on his level. There's a gap between him and everybody. It might be a gap between him and everybody else passing wise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jason Kidd,
Right.
the
And there's
closest
a
in my
gap.
mind.
It's the same thing far as
Yes.
even shooting and handling and playing off the ball. So all ball was just saying he not top 25 in assists. That don't make him not top though, because everything else he has the box is checked. Nobody else even close when it comes to everything else.
Yeah,
As
I
a
can't
point
because
guard,
because he's not the
it's
prototypical.
changed. The game's changed, bro.
Right, Mel.
Like, it don't.
I agree,
That
man.
criteria don't go for him.
I mean,
Like, just-
both of them kind of changed the game, like you said. Everybody that grew up in the 80s as teenagers, coming up in the 90s, everybody looked up to Magic, like Penny, Jason Kidd. They patented their game after him. They were like, "Oh shit, we can run and gun. We can turn it up, make it like an all-star. Play like an all-star game. Bring the street basketball to the NBA." Because you got to remember, back in the mid 70s, it was just plain, just
Right.
simple run and slow. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
That's Zach. What's up, Zach? That's the other
What up,
thing.
we are?
It was
What up,
it
G?
was taboo.
Zach, what up, bro?
It was taboo to shoot like that before, but it was taboo to dribble like Magic. Like, they had to allow that in the 80s after Dr. J and the ABA almost split. They were like, you know what? we gotta allow something. The 3-point line, and we gotta let Magic carry the ball a little bit because we're gonna lose out over here. So Steph Curry, same thing.
If we saying that, I could say Magic kind of messed up the game too. Then
with the handle,
no, not with the handle, because my generation, they was trying to kind of like shaming the little point guards. They wanted the big Sean Livingston's and the big 6'8" point guards, the Penny Hardaway type point guards, and it was none of those found. But if you was one of those, that's what they was looking for.
I'm gonna be honest, but I gotta let Zach rock. I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather them have shamed y'all into being Magic than Steph. Like, I'd rather you be a real point guard than chucking from half court. Me personally, I want to see some real ball. Zach, what you thinking, Zach?
We can't hear you, Flea.
We can't hear you, Flea. I want to hear what Flea said.
He had a phone call.
Oh, he's on a phone call.
Z Money, what's going on, Z Money?
Not much, man. I think I'll answer what Mel said. The reason why they didn't want smaller guards chucking no more because everybody thought they was going to be Allen Iverson and Stephon Marbury, Damon Stoudemire to a certain extent. So we had to kind of get things back in order and realize that AI is only going to be one AI. Like, I think people have to just understand it. There's only going to be one AI. I've heard the different comments. We've had this conversation on here. I just ask it from a basketball perspective, because to me, if we're going to just talk basketball, we could talk basketball. If you want to talk off the court and all that, that's like a whole nother conversation. And usually what I've noticed now, we add all the other stuff to try to pump one side up. That's like, usually that's what we do. So in this case, we're going to add all the other stuff to lift Steph Curry up on the same level as Magic, that's fine, to each his own. But as somebody that I always say, just playing the game. The question I will always ask Steph people, if he had the same responsibility as a normal point guard, I'm not even talking about traditional. I'm just saying, look at what a Trae Young does. We could even use today's point guard. We can look at Isaiah Thomas from the past, because he's the only one that kind of was allowed to do that back then because of how dynamic he was. If we look at a Ja Morant, I'm just looking at their sheer number and volume and all that. The question I always ask, would you have the same greatness of Steph Curry? I think you would have the same greatness as an individual player. I think he makes a lot of all-star games. I think he still changes the culture because of his shooting. But you wouldn't have the same greatness of how we put in Steph in there. You wouldn't have him as an MVP candidate if he was allowed to do the normal stuff. If you look at straight basketball, their offense, their system, along with Draymond Green, Sean Livingston when he came in the game, Iguodala, early David Lee, Bogut to a certain extent, their system functions as the point guard, no matter how people want to slice it. Right. His value is keeping the ball out of his hands. Like, that's his value. We can start at the beginning at Davidson. They was one game from the Final Four. They lost to Kansas, that Kansas team by 3 when he was playing off the ball. The white boy was the point guard. When they made him the point guard the next year, pretty much the same team came back, except for the white guy that was the point guard. Sure, the numbers were a little more gaudier. The assist numbers were there, but it wasn't the same impact as far as winning. They didn't have the same tournament run because they had the ball in his hands. So to me, I don't even like this argument, because you could always say, yeah, the game has changed, but I'm going to always say somebody still has to initiate offense. It's basketball. So either it's the person doing it or it's the system. And Steph has never been able to ask to do that. And my argument is not that he can't do it, but we wouldn't get the same great Steph if he played like that. You just wouldn't. That's not who he is. So I've always argued, and that's just me being different, I believe he created his own lane, sort of his own position. He's like Iverson in a lot of ways. He's a one of one. And to me, that's his true legacy and his true greatness, not whether he's the best point guard or not, because he's never really played point guard. I just don't care how people try to,
I disagree.
That's just my opinion. He's never have. Because early on, they didn't have success. And then when Mark Jackson started to move him off the ball more, that's when they started to take off. Steve Kerr comes in, the rest is history. He's
But
always
he
been
affects the
dynamic
game
off the
so
ball.
many ways. It's crazy. Like, I
But
don't know.
Mel, listen to
With
what I'm
him
saying.
having
Listen,
the
Mel,
ball or
listen
not
to what
having,
I'm
we
saying.
just witnessed it when he was the point guard running point against Sacramento. Nigga scored like 14 in a row with the ball on his hand.
Mel,
But I think
Mel,
that
listen what I'm saying. I'm not saying he can't do it.
can y'all hear me?
I'm saying,
Yeah,
I can hear
we
you.
can hear
Lee.
you, Flea.
What I'm
All right,
saying is,
all right.
Mel, he cannot do that for a whole season or a whole career and be looked at as the same great Steph Curry because that's not his strength.
I disagree, man. I think
Okay.
he
I
Yeah,
think
I
that's what Jay Cruz's question was earlier. I'm glad we got to it, Jay Cruz. Yeah, Nick Pillow, get
Question
on here if
what?
you want, man. Flea, what are you gonna respond? How you gonna respond?
No, I was just gonna say I think that's I agree with everything Zach was saying. But the biggest thing that stood out was him creating a lane for himself similar to Allen Iverson, right? When we think about Chuck, we don't think about point guard. Do we think about shooting guard? He's a guard, right? He's a
Right.
basketball player, right? So it's hard to define him, when we trying to talk about the game in a position. We can't put Allen in a position because it's almost like, well, he handles the ball, so he got to be a point guard. No, but he shoots a lot. He's a volume shooter, so he got to be a two guard. No, so where do we put him? I think Steph is similar to that, but you gotta, for the, I mean, no disrespect, but for the casual fan, you gotta give him a position. You got to give him something to define him. And again, you know what I mean? Z, like, it's no disrespect to anybody. It's just you gotta provide some kind of context of what he is as a basketball player. So we'll call him a point guard. But the same responsibilities that he has, this is the point I kind of want to get at. Yes, Zach, if he was asked to do other things, we probably wouldn't get the same player. But I know if Magic was asked to do some other things, we might have not got the same magic, the same effect that he had on winning with the team that he had. Now, I always think that we need to, like, pay attention. Magic played with a lot of great players. Not forget the Hall of Fame stuff. Just as soon as you came in, you was around a lot of greatness. And then Worthy comes. And then Byron Scott, who was a top 5 pick himself. Like, you play with a lot of great guys, right? So the responsibility level wasn't solely on your shoulders. They had a lot of guys to shoulder a lot of that shit. Steph carries a lot of the stuff on him. Yeah, great. Clay's great. Draymond's great. The other ancillary pieces that he's had over the years, they were great basketball players too. But a lot of the responsibility is on his shoulders. It gets evened out because Clay's such a great shooter. It gets evened out because Draymond can initiate offense. If those guys wasn't able to do that, I agree with you, Zach. I think we would see a different Steph Curry.
But both of them guys have somewhat fallen off, and Curry hasn't.
I think, Mel, to your point, though, that speaks to his overall greatness, right? Because I would argue, Flea, I would say Magic's talent as far as individuals, like Worthy, Jabbar early on, even a McAdoo at the end of his career.
Even Silk. I
was getting ready to say Jamal Wilkes, right? I would say individually, you could maybe argue they might be better. But I think you could say too, Clay, Draymond, Iggy, those guys early on when they were still young, still fresh. Those are, tough basketball players in their own right. I agree with you though. And that's why I kind of stay out of this conversation. And part of it's hard because I played the position, right? So I understand I don't think people really understand the responsibility because people look at the point guard like, oh, he just brings it up the court. And that's why I love talking with you guys, because even if you didn't play or you did play, you understand it's a lot more than just bring the ball up. Mm-hmm. And I think that responsibility in this argument kind of gets pushed to the side. The ability to come up and execute and initiate high-level offense for a whole career. I feel like more comfortable just to be able to say, hey, even with LeBron's legacy is going to be longevity. I think it's okay for me personally to switch the conversation and say Steph's legacy, his greatness is he was able to do something that nobody else was going to do but him. Even what Gilbert Arenas said, like, well, I don't see guys trying to be like Magic, trying to be like Steph. And I was like, yeah, that's true, Gil. But part of the reason why is the average person ain't 6'9".
Right,
Ain't
they
6'9",
can't.
So it's
right.
like,
They
it's the
can't.
same. It's the same argument with LeBron. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit easier to be Kobe. It was a little, as crazy as it may sound, it was a little more easier to be Magic than the sheer force and power of a LeBron James or the height of a Magic Johnson. So I that's just where I leave it at, fellas.
Like
I just
Shaq,
think it's playing that position because the great ones make it look so easy. I don't know how you take all that other stuff off the table to include Steph Curry. That's the issue I have with it. That's why it's controversial. I'm leaning more to saying he's almost, to me, like the third greatest shooting guard. Like, that's just my opinion because of how prolific he is off the ball. We've never seen nothing like this. There was a stat that you saw at Fabian Ben Taylor threw out. He shoots better on open corner threes than some guy shoots at the rim on layups.
Nah, he's crazy.
Layups.
That's not point guard stuff. Like, that's something else, bro. And I don't know. I just want to personally just keep pushing that conversation forward to just really even further appreciate he's more than just a point guard. And some guys, they just exceed whatever the position is. Some people got to talk about it a little bit deeper than that, than just saying, oh, he's a point guard.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, you're right. That's like a stereotype. Because then even because Jerry West is what 6'4", 6'5", but Jerry West was like smacking the top of the back, whatever he was doing. He was athletic for a dude his size. But every time I think of Jerry West, I think of scoring, and I don't think of passing, and I don't think of him being a point guard. And I didn't watch him. We seen try to see some of these highlights, but just from what I'm reading, I'm like, yo, he doesn't feel like a point guard to me. He just doesn't. So with Steph, same exact thing, and we got to watch him. I just feel like I've been saying that for a while. I don't think he's a point guard because Rich Hamilton, Reggie Miller, all these guys, even Allen Iverson doesn't get enough credit to go off the ball the way he did. The way that he did, ever. Allen Iverson never gets talked about off the ball, but that's what separates him with James Harden and these dudes. But again, that's what led to Steph Curry. Steph Curry, and who's the other guy? Steve Nash. But again,
she's gonna call me back and see. She's hold
on. Steph Curry was not on the ball like Steve Nash to me. Like when he wasn't as to be. If I'm gonna be real, Steve Nash was tougher on the ball. You couldn't rip Steve Nash like that, and he was getting where he had to go. You couldn't really. You were physical with him, but
Steve Nash was a hell of a ball handler,
right? And he wasn't stopping his dribble.
And they're playing with the same rules. You understand? We saw the before and after. Steve Nash is he's the guy. He's the go-to, and we go. This is before hand checking was over with. This is after. Steve Nash's career was saved, and it was taken to another level because of the hand checking rules being taken away. But Steph Curry gets to play in that playground for his whole career. So I can't say he's a point guard like Zach. You reminded me and reminded everybody. Yeah, we forgot about this. We've been talking about this forever. Every time this conversation comes up, he ain't a point guard, dog. And every time we think of Magic, he's the icon of point guards.
As a point guard, you're going to expect the point guard, right, to run your offense by controlling the ball and making sure the right person gets the ball.
Right.
That's going to happen with him with the ball in his hand or out his hand. And then being able to accept the coach's game plan, whether you on the ball or off the ball, a lot of point guards can't do both. Players, period.
Hey, I'll say this though, Mel, I'll even circle back and say this. If everything I said, because he created his new lane, if you want to say that makes him the greatest point guard ever, I ain't mad at that either.
Right.
Because it's like his skill set. Is it only shooting guard now? His skill set, his handles is arguably top.
But just because you gotta just be a point guard though either though.
What did he say? His handles is what?
Arguably top 5.
No.
Steph Curry handles?
Yes.
No.
I told you loosen that bucket. You've been bugging today. What are you talking about?
And then his passing skills, he could pass too.
He could pass,
but let's slow down on the pass.
8 points and almost 9 dimes.
the numbers because Steph known to throw that ball around like a bomb and turn it over.
And
I would say that's
2013
probably
he'll turn it over. He'll turn it over in a
That's
heartbeat.
points.
like his
And he
weakest
giving you
part
two
is his
steals.
passing.
Hold on.
And he giving you 2 steals.
Mel, how can we say he has a top 5 handle of all time? But I just finished saying Steve Nash at the point. I never seen him get ripped like that. They might body him, but Steph Curry better not hold the ball like that.
For the ball away. When's the last time you seen somebody just go take it from him?
Right, nigga, he don't get booked. Niggas is not
But
booking
he
him and
gets
laying
stopped.
it up.
He get
He
in
might
his.
make bad decisions.
I don't remember him being like getting ripped, but he
Nah,
definitely
right.
throw
He
that
don't
ball
get
around like
He
it's a
throw that
grenade.
ball away.
Yeah,
No
he'll
question.
Okay,
take
so
that
that's to me. That's a part of decision making and ball handling. To me, maybe
No,
not ball handling, but
no,
definitely
that's
decision
not ball
making.
handling.
Y'all
Decision
can-
Okay,
making
cool.
is not ball handling.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not the best. I've never felt like it was top 5. I felt like it was a product of the era.
So what's
He's
Be
top
allowed
honest
five
with
to
you,
do
I
that
never
now.
thought about
What's
it.
top 5 you seen?
But
Hold
you
on,
would
hold
have,
on.
but you would have Kyrie Irving as the best ball handler ever.
Can
Kyrie's
everybody
up
hear
there.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Steph Curry is nowhere near top 5 greatest handle of all time. That shit is nuts. Get out of here with that.
What?
Yeah, I thought
Who's
just
the
not
top
watching
five?
Isaiah
I
Thomas
don't
is
think
up
he's
there.
nuts.
So Terrell Brandon's not a great ball handler because he didn't do any flashy razzle
He's
dazzle.
Bro,
a,
hold on, hold on,
Sherrell
hold on. You got
Brandon was a
Ross
hell of a
Strick-
ball handler. He ain't
Bro.
Steph Curry with the ball. in his
Tim
hand.
Hardaway, like
You got Ross Strickland.
Hardaway up there
You got
too.
Ross Strickland. You got Kyrie. You got Steve Nash. You got
Yeah.
Kenny Anderson.
Kenny
Remember, we just talking handles. We just talking handles. His handle is not top 5. I'm sorry. I
Yes,
can't
it is.
accept that. Better handle than that.
That's crazy.
Kenny
easily.
Anderson got better handles than Steph Curry.
It's easily.
Yeah,
Hold on, there's a
Kenny
gap
Anderson
between-
definitely has a better. See, to me, this is
Yo.
like you have to almost
Van
separate it
Exel.
into two. You could almost separate it to two eras, right?
Curry shit suspect, my nigga.
But you have to separate it like in 2 eras, though,
Curry get that
because
ball
it
up. Man.
changed.
I'll be back.
I agree with what Zach said. I'm sorry, cut y'all off. Curry get that ball up, man. Like I said, I'm not saying he don't have a handle, but when it comes to like legendary handles, Curry is nowhere near in that talk. I'm sorry, I can't.
But that's narrative. That's just because nobody is saying. That's just because a group of people are not saying it. But we watching the game. Steph Curry's handle is
No,
up
his
there
handle
with,
is yeah.
with
It's one
some
of
of
the
the elite.
yeah. It is. It is. I don't know about top 5 off the top of my head, but it's not crazy to suggest that. I don't think that's crazy at all.
No,
I would say this though with ball handling, and I think we need to kind of look at the eras.
So when you got Kyrie, ball.
Kyrie is the best ball handler I ever seen. Maybe between him and Pistol Pete Maverick.
So Steph Curry's that far from Kyrie's
Hold on. People may laugh at it, like people may laugh at Pistol Pete, but he was way ahead of his time as far as if we just talking ball handling skills. Now Curry could probably be top 10. I just can't put him top 5. I'm sorry, I just can't. But Kyrie for me is number 1. I ain't never seen Kyrie got the ball on the string, man. I'm sorry.
So if you got Kyrie at number 1 and you possibly have Steph in the top 10, you're saying that Kyrie's ball handling skills are that much better than Steph Curry's?
Yo, that's why I asked, because
Way
I don't
better.
see it. That's why that's exactly
It's
why I
not
asked.
way better?
It's not even close to me.
Yeah, that's yeah. I ain't rolling with that.
Please, that's why I asked, just to see where
I don't
scale.
because again, are we talking if you're talking handle, right? Just handle. You could throw Pearl in there.
That's a good one.
Throw Magic in there again. You could you're not taking the ball from these guys. So like how are we defining this? You could throw
Ahead of Curry.
I didn't say ahead of Curry, but I'm just saying like how are we
All right, well,
judging
Zach.
handle?
All right, Zach. When I say ball handling skills, maybe we misunderstanding some things. When I say ball handling skills, I'm thinking of me being from New York, just seeing how guys is like wizards in just magic with the ball. So I'm just thinking pure handle. Like I said, Steph Curry is not coming down coast to coast, throwing around his back between his legs. Like he not doing all that.
Yes, he is. What are you watching?
I will argue he does more of that than he does just straight up regular ball.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all seeing. I'm sorry. I'm
I mean, Steph ain't guard Shamgar, but he's going. He can handle the ball on an elite level.
So where's
We could
Sham
share
God
the
in
screen. We could
conversation?
pull up a highlight of him just dribbling around, going around
Hold
his
on.
back, between his legs. I mean,
Hold on.
Jamal Crawford is another one off the top of my head. I mean, we seen Steph handle the like. That's when he does his most tricks. is when he catch the ball and
Right.
he's
That
trying to get
one
away
was.
from guys. I'm confused.
We seeing two totally different things. I don't. Curry got a good
So
handle, but his handle is not legendary. I'm sorry. I'll put him top 10, but to me, he's not top 5. I'm sorry.
so where's Shamgar in this conversation?
Yeah, like
He can't be in it.
Sham got
You say he can't be in it.
We talking about NBA or we just
I
talking about
said
streetball? We talking anything? I ain't never seen him.
no. We just talking about if we just talking about just straight handles.
nah. I think we should stick to like start anyone who played in the league.
so.
All
What
Right,
right.
about
that's what I'm saying.
what do y'all think about Allen Iverson? Where does he rank as far as handle?
He's somewhere up there too.
He's top 15.
I look at Iverson as more as a really good dribbler. I wouldn't say he was a
Yeah.
great handle. He had good
There's
moves to get his
a
shot.
big difference.
Right, he
There's a
had
big
moves.
difference
Wouldn't
between
say
He had
he
ball
had
more
a
moves
handling and
handle
dribbling.
what the guys were naming. He can dribble really well, but he's not a handler to me. That's not what I think of when I think of Allen Iverson.
What about Jay Will?
Ball handler.
If we talking straight
Fancy, we
handles,
seen him be playing James.
if we putting
Seen
if we talking handles,
Jason
I'm putting
Kidd.
CP in there too. He
Yeah,
ain't too
Jason
far off.
Kidd. No, good, exact. Jason Kidd, bro.
No,
And
I'm asking.
CP3.
What about Sacramento Kings? Jason Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ball
that's what I'm
handler.
saying.
Oh, okay, I ain't hear y'all. I'm sorry.
Nah, but
Ball handler,
I like the Kid one because Kid wasn't doing all that to separate and get his shot off, but he was doing that
Handles
to run
though?
the team. Yeah, Jason Kidd handle.
Kyrie gets the ball in his hand, and obviously he's trying to get to a spot, but he's looking to embarrass you as well. Steph
Right.
is trying to get space. He's trying to get
Right.
space to create a shot. Now there's a big difference between trying to embarrass the shit out of you and get on the highlight
And try to get my shot off.
and try to get my shot off. I
Yep.
think that's a big difference between but they both got that shit on the string.
So would you don't have a preference for your point guard or your guard in general? Go ahead.
There's literally a 17-minute highlight video of Steph dribbling the ball just from last season.
Just from last season.
Highlight video.
So you think? Hold on. So you think they wouldn't?
Just from last season.
You think they wouldn't be one for Tim Hardaway if we had this much videotape on
I'm
him?
just saying that to all ball to prove a point. Like there's literally
What point? Yeah, like Zach, you saying that doesn't prove a point. That's my opinion. I don't.
You
think
said he
Steph
doesn't
Curry-
have a handle.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
No, I wouldn't say that. That's
listen,
crazy.
listen, I don't want to talk over nobody. I'm just saying my opinion. He's not top 5. Y'all talking about he's that close to Kyrie. My opinion, he don't have it on the string like no Kyrie. He ain't no Pistol Pete. I'm saying strictly handle. No, I disagree with y'all. I'm sorry. The 17 minutes you got, we can have that on a lot of players.
So OG,
I put him in my
so
top
OG,
10.
his handle is average.
No, he may be. No, he's above average, but he's not top 5.
So where do we? So if all these guys are head and shoulders better than him, and he don't have it on a string like those guys, so he is a Terrell Brandon, Mark Price type ball handler.
I didn't say nothing about Terrell Brandon.
Well, somebody who said that? Fabian, you quiet now. You brought up Terrell
Fabian
Brandon,
said that.
Nah, I'm saying Terrell Brand, he had a handle. I'm saying like when you say top 5, we think of him because it's a flashy handle, but I don't think that's necessarily the handle that Kyrie's up there. Even Allen Iverson top 15. But I don't think he's head and shoulders above them. He had. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's a gap that he's that far away from them neither.
No, I'm not okay. Let's not say a gap, but to say claim him top 5 automatic, nah. Top 5 automatic.
But it's only one. It's only one person. But it's only one person that say that has a gap with him. I didn't say everybody. I said Kyrie Irving. I didn't say everybody else had that big gap. Remember, I just said he's not top 5. I said he's
right.
top 10.
But as soon as niggas say Kyrie, who the next person you think?
Okay, so who? All right, I'll throw another name out there. Jamal Crawford.
Handle was crazy.
I think Crawford's up there too.
To me, he's up there, but he would be towards the lower end of the people we talking about right now.
But you think Steph Curry has a better handle than him?
For sure.
Okay.
Oh, then Jamal Crawford?
That's
tough. That's tough.
Jamal Crawford is coming off the bench and doing it for 15, 20 minutes.
Nah,
Curry got
that what that got to do with
That's funny.
having a handle.
Curry got that bitch all the time.
Wait,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
now how
Nah,
long you have the
can't
ball
say.
matters? So
He
how
can't.
long
Oh,
you
he
have the
can't.
ball
He's,
matters?
qualifier, Mel.
see,
I don't
yo,
know if
see,
that's a
Zach.
good qualifier, Mel.
Huh?
Like, I
See,
get
Zach.
you.
Yo, Zach. See, it wasn't.
I fuck with Crawford, Jay Cross, man.
Nah, but hold on, yo, Mel. That's the point. You can't 1 minute say he went off the ball, off being a point guard, because he couldn't do that his whole career, and the next minute say he handles the ball the entire game. It can't be both.
All right, and if it's not the entire game, it's more than Jamal Crawford.
I mean, because he's the starter, cool. But I'm
Right.
talking about when you think of handle, I don't see him above Jamal Crawford like that. Maybe on the same level,
So all
but
right,
to say top
When I
five,
think of
Y'all just
handle,
don't
I'm
want to
thinking
give.
about
Y'all just don't want to
AI.
give Curry another accolade. He the best shooter of all time. Now they don't want to put him. They
All
don't
right,
want to
so-
give him too much. They don't want to give him too much.
all right. Hold on. Let me ask Zach. I want this for Zach and Fleet. Give me your thoughts on should Jamal Tinsley and Skip the Malou be in this conversation?
Yeah.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a few other guys. Yeah, Jamal. I call him Jamal Spinsley. Yeah, Yeah, for sure.
Now it's getting scary.
That's the thing. Nice.
Definitely.
You can have a long list. It comes down to preference. I think all the guys we mentioned, you have a great case to put them in your top 5, and nobody should be mad at that. It shouldn't sound crazy. Because the handle, those guys, Tinsley is the reason why I wanted to try to develop a spin move. I've never seen nothing like that since like highlights of Earl Monroe, to do those type of spin moves in real games and nobody take the ball from you. Because I was taught that you don't do spin moves like that by the coaches I've had.
Right.
Like growing up, we was taught you don't do no spin move. Not like that. He was doing it in traffic and not getting the ball took
Jamal
from him. Like,
Jamal was different.
yeah, like that was like, we can't.
And you gotta remember,
remember.
who coached him and saw that in him, Isaiah Thomas.
I love
Oh, on the
Skip, but
Pacers?
Skip can't be in the conversation if you're talking NBA.
Why not?
He
We
didn't
talking
show.
about handle, not
He didn't
NBA.
show it. He wasn't showing it like that in the league. Let's be real. He was on a leash.
That's
Wait, so okay, I
love
get it.
Skip. He was one of them. I used to watch him he was not between the
Yeah,
legs spinning.
yeah.
He was not even doing what Jamal Tinsley was doing. He didn't have to freedom. I didn't say.
So-
I think he kind of adjusted because they was hating on him in the beginning when he first got in the career, but he wasn't really showing it like that. If you watch Skip handles, it's going to be very basic. It's not going. He wasn't.
See, now we finally got to it. So if the handle is basic, it's not a good handle.
No, that. Oh.
Yeah, see that I was waiting for someone. That's why I was.
It's a no.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
a no. I can't say that, right? No, I can't say that. If the handle, you can have a basic handle and still have handle, right?
That's
But
John
with the guys
Stockton
we
all
talking
day,
about,
right?
no.
That's John
With the guys
Stockton all day.
The guys we talking about, I feel like
Payton all day.
At the flashy,
Hell, you realize that's John Stockton and Gary Payton all day.
right? John
That's
Stockton.
Jason Kidd. That's Jason Kidd all day.
Right. That's why I can't. And I don't think Jason Kidd had more handles than Steph, but he up there. One of my favorite point guards that people don't talk about was Andre Miller. He didn't get stripped.
Another one,
He kept that
crazy
shit,
handle.
you know
You're
what I
not taking
mean?
any of the
You
nice
ain't
spin
taking it.
move.
Right. So
so.
the basic, I don't know.
And never made an All-Star either.
See, that's the part where I get y'all. That's where you lose me, because that's what I was gonna say. Remember, Steph Curry got to play in this era where you can do all that. You couldn't do that in the '90s, early 2000s. Allen Iverson, you get penalized for that, like you just said. Skip to my loop.
Hey, Fabian, let's be clear too. This era, I think Kyrie's the perfect blend. That's why I would have him number 1, because he doesn't carry a lot like a lot of guys in this era. But I think people don't understand that, Fabian, how I'm born in 81. So I would say we're the last generation, unless you're just a super creative person, where you had to learn how to dribble with your hand kind of on top of the ball, depending on how you was coached. And it was more about how quick it was, how tight it was, the ball being away from your body. Like Iverson and those guys, Kyrie, the ball away from your body. Like you was taught not to do that coming up if you're in the early 90s and the 80s era where the ball had to be quick, like a Isaiah Thomas, like a Tim Hardaway. And it was more about being shifty with your whole body than using your hand to manipulate the ball. Like that's a completely different thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
But
like,
that's
you
what going
talking
back to what you said
handle,
before, Zach. That's why I like having these conversations with you guys because I don't watch college ball like that, high school, and all of a sudden Mel come out of nowhere like, "Are you kidding me? You don't understand who he was in high school with his hand to stand there." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't know." But then you have to dumb down your game when you get to the league. Now we get to record all this because people don't know. Just like this conversation right now is like, once you say Steph is top 5 handles, it ain't because I don't want to give him the credit. He's Steph. He's a god. I'd rather him have the handles, but Kyrie got that already. The top handles ever, shooter ever, whatever it is. I can't say that about Steph. I can't say had the best handles I've ever seen in my life.
because
And
think
to be
about it,
4
even the
slots
guys
away
from
from
New
it.
York, even the guys from New York that y'all love, right? Kenny Anderson, close to his body, quick. Sham God, same thing. Booger Smith, I seen Soul in the Hole. The ball is literally, if this is the ground, the
Yes.
ball is like
Yes.
right here. Like it's all tight. It's all
We
up
ain't mentioned
the rim.
Marbury. If we talking
Earl
handles, we ain't
Washington,
mentioned.
the Pearl. Tight, it's quick. It's just a different era, but I don't know. That's why I said handle could kind of go in so many different directions depending on what you value. If you like Mel, hey, I want to see some sauce. I want to see what you do with the moves.
Right.
Somebody like me, I think a great handle could be somebody that never gets the ball taken from him and can make a
True.
pass to a shooter coming off a curl. Because
Yo,
everybody can't do that.
I might deserve a suspension from YouTube for a day because it took Mel this long to come up with Marbury. How the hell we ain't say Marbury?
No, Marbury and Kobe. Niggas
Yeah,
forget
Cole. Oh
too.
man.
Yeah, I got some.
I mean,
Sometimes
I say it all
handle
the
is my
time.
thing. That's
Bean's
what I'm trying to
handle
tell you, bro. I know
for
handles,
his
bro.
position and how much he had the ball in his hand.
Kobe
was a
had his
hell of a
own
ball
move.
handler.
Everybody was trying to. Once he hit the nigga Ben Wallace at the free throw line, everybody was trying to
Crossover,
do
yeah.
that.
Hey, Zach, real quick. I didn't want to say Booger because he didn't make it to the league. So, but that what you just said was just legendary. Like I said, I didn't want to say him, but you know, like you said, guys that got it on a string, that's crazy. Got to put them up there. So I'm glad you gave him his props on that one.
I'm gonna always be biased all ball to that generation, just in my opinion, because I think it's harder to move defenses when you can't just carry the ball. I don't care what this generation says. Like what Ed Booger Smith was able to do with that ball, really be carrying the ball, like you as a fellow ball handler, like I'd rather have that type of handle because it's a level of skill and precision that the average person is just not gonna have, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I can still watch Soul in the Hole to this day, bro, and want to go grab the ball and go work on my handle because his handle was elite.
Just real quick. Remember, I seen that shit live in action for 2 summers, right?
Damn.
And let me tell you what I seen him. Let me tell y'all what I seen him do. And y'all gotta remember, he jumping off the train, getting right into the game. He get the rebound. When he jump in the air and get the rebound, he jumps in the air and puts it between his legs, right? When he lands, when the defender comes towards him, he 1-2s a pop, and he rolls the ball all the way to the other side of the court. The guy picks it up and lays the ball up. Ain't nobody doing that shit, bro. So yeah, man, like different. But I'm glad you brought that up because, like I said, he ain't make the league. But like I said, when it comes to handles, but Steph is up there. But like you said, it's just so many guys that it's hard to like make a list because everybody's gonna have different. You know what I mean? Nobody's really wrong, but that's gonna be a tough list if somebody like really tries to get it to a T. That's gonna be a tough list to make.
That's tough.
But for
That's
me,
definitely tough.
I guess I think of it because if Steph's handle was a little bit stronger, I think he'd be like a different level, in my opinion. Like if he was like what Kyrie does with the ball, it's not just his long arm; it's the fact that he gets to these spots. It's just amazing. He has a counter with a counter with a counter. I don't see Steph with that.
But shout out to Flea because I think Flea nailed it when he first said it. It's the mentality. Kyrie wants to embarrass you. Steph is just trying to do moves to get to his shot. That's it. It's 2 totally different types of mentalities when it comes to scoring and creativity. And I think that's why you see 2 different types of players. Being honest, I think Flea knocked it out the park when he said that.
Yeah.
Because he wants to get to his shot. That's it.
If we talking the fundamental basics, I think Tony Parker was very underrated too.
Another one. You know,
He was
strong
very
handle.
underrated with the handles.
Low to the ground.
Right,
Super
get
low
into the
to the
hole
ground.
every trip at will.
But I think see, that's another thing. I think Kyrie can handle the rock in any possession, any speed, cross you up in any speed, handle the ball any speed. I don't think Steph is like that. I think there's something missing with that. And just like you said with Tony Parker, I don't think Tony Parker could dribble the ball like that at any given time. Nah, he
Well,
needs a pick.
You gotta understand.
was just
Most players don't want to do that. They don't have to. And
We
then you
just-
gotta understand where
we
Kyrie
just
from. He's from Jersey. He was raised in the Bronx. Like he's basically like a New York guard almost. That's what he loves to do. The other guys probably don't love to do it.
We just brought up Jamal Tinsley. OG just brought up Jamal Tinsley a little while ago, and how much he used to spin with the basketball. Right, we was talking about that move. Tony Parker will be coming at you full speed with the ball in his hand and spin on a 1 foot spin. Finish with the left, finish with the right. Like he was like that at full speed ahead, having the basketball going at you. Like
Hey,
he was another
hey, how we
underrated
go?
guy.
We got two more people.
Don't forget Steve Francis.
Another guy.
Baron Davis.
I was gonna say Baron Davis. I was gonna get out of my head, Mel. I was gonna say Baron Davis. And I was gonna say Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah,
Gilbert.
Arenas was tough. Arenas was tough. Arenas was like stepping that way where he's trying to get to his spot. But I think with C. Francis, it was almost too much. He overdid it.
Steve Francis was like Kyrie. He wanted to embarrass you.
he wants to embarrass you.
Right.
He did, but he would. But I think he was an even worse version because he might cross you over, then bring it back, restart the whole crossover. Like he was ridiculous, and he was nice. Don't get me wrong, but it was crazy.
Say this though, to show you the difference in ball handling, right? I don't know if Kyrie, I want him being a ball handler, initiating my offense and getting guys going. I don't think he can do that like that. But I don't think Jay Kidd can get the ball on the island and do what Kyrie do either. It just shows you how different these guys are and how they use their handle to best fit their game.
Right.
I
Hey,
don't think Kyrie could do what some of the other guys can do as far as running the offense. He's so used to getting the ball, having his head down, doing what he do. He might miss the guy coming off the curl or coming off the pin down.
we talking handles. I'm gonna show the shot some love. My man from Crane, my nigga Will Bynum. That
Shout out
nigga
to
shit
Thrill.
was nasty.
Shout out to Thrill, man.
He is
But
drunk.
Bynum made it to the league, right? Detroit
Right.
or
Yeah.
Will made it to the league.
But
played for
his
the
handle
Pistons.
was nasty.
Will Bynum.
yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Thrill.
So shout out to Seth in the chat. Never seen you before. Jay Cruz. Jay Cruz been hitting us up with some. It's attack versus creating space. AI was power move just like Curry. I don't know about just
Yeah.
like Curry. You think just like Curry?
In a way, I see what he's saying. Like he's creating moves to get to his shot, like we said earlier.
I respect what Jay Cruz has been saying, so I want to let that slide. And Zach is giving you a cosign. Jay Cruz, you good? And what's up, Danny Barry?
Now I did see Shamgar play in 55th in real life, and you could see like Kobe. He had to work with Kobe somehow because it's the same thing.
He did.
Right? See, I didn't even know, but the way he did it,
All-Star.
Kobe was the same way, bro. Like I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like,
Hold on.
I
So
seen Sham
do
as a pro in a workout.
did we
I
say
never
Van
seen him
Axel?
street ball. Yeah, we said Van Axel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Van Axel went on. We didn't give him enough love. Nah, Van Axel was crazy.
he had more moves than handles, I think. Like he had a bag of moves, of tricks and shit, but not handles. Like
I didn't see. Okay, but to your point, right? Whatever you want to call it, moves, handles, a combination of the two. I didn't see people rip him like that, and he got to wherever he wanted to.
And Nick played more point guard than people give him credit for. Especially you go back to Cincinnati, his early years with the Lakers in the league. As he gets older, he becomes for sure, 6-man only getting buckets. But early on, he played more point guard than people. I didn't say he played a great efficient point guard, but he played more PG than people give him credit for. It's almost like Ray Allen. We didn't make Ray Allen just a spot up a shooter, that he wasn't a number one guy coming off sloppies and giving you everything. Nick Van Exel was more of a point guard than people remember.
Yo, Van Exel, Kobe, Eddie Jones, Shaq, was it Eldon Campbell?
Yup.
Why did they had to get rid of Eddie Jones for Kobe, right?
Mhm.
But why not keep Van Exel? He was too much of a loose cannon.
He wanted to be traded.
Yeah, and it was the money. It was the money too, because Nick wanted to be paid like a star. You gotta remember that Laker team in '98, they had 4 All-Stars on that
Four.
team. So
Mhm.
yeah, Eddie gets to go to Charlotte, and they pay him. Kobe is ascending. Shaq got the big bag, and now Nick is the odd man out.
Mhm.
Why I just saw Nick Van Exel talking about Kyrie. Nobody asked him about those practices in 96, 97. Like that's the stuff. That's what I'm saying about this era. People just don't know what questions to ask. Those have to be the most legendary practices of the 90s, besides the Bulls.
Kobe said Nick Van Exel is
Who
the
cooked
first guy to
That cooked
kick
them.
his ass on that NBA
Yup.
level.
Word.
He came into
I
practice, and Nick welcomed him, and it was tough.
What he say?
I
Flea?
remember
He said he welcomed him.
he welcomed him. That like he's telling that y'all know the knuckleheads.
Yeah, I knew what episode you was talking about.
Yeah.
You said that on
Right,
there.
because
Yup.
Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson, their first question for everybody is who's the first person to bust your ass? And Bean was like, yo, shit, that motherfucking Nick Van Exel was tough. Like,
Yup. And he not that far from Chicago. He from Kenosha, right next to Milwaukee. Well, it's actually
he's
before
in
Milwaukee.
Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, like right across the border.
Yeah.
He's that close to us. He right across the border.
Who
Same
that,
thing with Ron
who
Butler.
that, Don?
Yeah. I just heard,
Yo.
I was just talking to one of my OGs. He was saying that Nick Van Exel's father and uncle is from Brooklyn.
Word? I didn't know that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
One of my OGs was just one of my OGs was telling me like, yo, I used to hang out with Nick Van Exel. Yeah. But they didn't like play ball like that. They played ball, but not like that. Like how
And that's
you know what
and
I mean?
you know what that's crazy? Because Nick Van Exel was Sebastian Telfair, your favorite player.
Nick Van Exel was really popular here.
I could see that.
That's why he wore 31.
I could see that. What about his handle? What about Basket's handle? We didn't mention him. He played in the league.
He was more moves than handle.
Yeah.
I don't think I wouldn't
he
put
had moves
Baskey.
and handles.
For me, I wouldn't put Baskey up there in terms of his handle.
Because he was quick. That's why. I think people would see it because he was so quick. He was so quick. He just go.
Lamar Odom and Lance might be honorable mention or something.
Yeah.
Yo, Odom was crazy
For his size.
6'10". Yeah.
I mean, that's
yo, here's a question. Who has a better handle in their peak? Lamar Odom or Kevin Durant?
I think
KD for me.
I think Odom.
I think KD creates space better. Gets.
I'm probably gonna go Kev.
Yeah.
Kev?
More shifty.
Lamar Odom
again,
actually
this is
ran
off.
point. Lamar Odom actually ran point.
The difference right there.
He ran. Lamar Odom actually
Yes.
ran
Handle the
point,
ball and
bro.
keep guys off of
I
him.
don't know where I'm gonna go this one. I don't know. I'm gonna just.
It's tough.
K-
It's tough because like we always talk about responsibilities, right? So
Yeah.
Kev responsibility really wasn't to get everybody involved. When he get it,
Let's
he
do
gonna
him.
fuck you up with it.
Yeah.
Lamar is gonna get it 94 feet, bring it down, try to get Powell, try to find Bean, try to find D-Fish. Like what they was
Like,
able to
really
do.
run
But even
point.
before that, what he was doing, he was in LA. The Clippers throwing alleys, and he really a creator. That's what I'm saying.
Running point at 6'11",
Right, he was really
6'10".
running point, bro.
Yeah, it was tough. It was true.
That's a different type of responsibility. Even you can't go wrong with either,
Right.
especially with him being all left mostly, and you know he all left, but you still can't take the ball from him.
I think Lamar may be harder to take the ball from. Honestly, he might be. I feel like I've seen KD get ripped more. But
True.
KD, even in that year in Brooklyn where Kyrie was with the whole vaccine thing, like I'm not saying KD's some great playmaker, but he was like table setting a good amount that season with Harden.
That's fair, Don. That's fair.
He's gone better
You're
at
right.
that to me. And you know me, I'm not like the biggest on Kevin Durant, but I'll give him his props.
Man, I'm biased though. I ain't gonna lie. Being a lefty, Odom handle was
You're a
Yeah,
lefty?
Odom handle
Odom's
was
lefty
tough,
was
bro.
crazy.
Right.
You're a lefty, Zach?
I play basketball left-handed. I do other
Okay.
things. I write right-handed, but I play basketball left-handed.
I'm always
That's
jealous
funny.
of the people that can do both of these. You do things with both hands.
I seen
Yeah.
Zach punch some shit down. I said, "Oh shit, I forgot Zach was a lefty." Okay.
Yeah. Every blue moon. Every blue moon.
Was Tiny
Every
Archibald
blue
one of your idols?
Of course.
Okay.
Any
good.
I was all in on any lefty, bro. All the way back to
Tiny
Wheeler
Archibald
and
could do it with
Katino
both,
Mobley
though.
at Rhode Island. I'm all
I
in on
love
any
Katino
tight
Mobley.
left. Like I just threw a name that we probably ain't heard in years. That
Cat.
backcourt was nasty.
The
No, I'm
original
talking about
cat. Fuck this
He's
cat
one of the
today.
reasons-
The original cat.
Yeah.
like that backcourt, Tyson Wheeler and
Tyson
Katino
Wheeler
Mobley in
and
college.
Katino. Very tough.
Delonte West, I'm team lefty. That any lefty that was nasty, I'm all in.
So let's keep it a bit. Let's keep it a band. James Harden for a lefty's handle ain't shabby either.
Crazy.
Oh, it's great. He has a really good handle.
Oh,
Is
heck
see,
yeah.
that's the guy I was gonna point to and say he has a great handle, but Iman Shumpert broke down what I've been saying about him. It
What'd he
looks
say?
methodical. It looks like he can count his steps, he can count his dribbles and go, okay, we're
Well-
gonna stop right there, and then what happens?
No,
Mhm.
there's one thing I'd say about Harden, and even in like the bubble in his prime, he did that tween cross so many times. Bro, there were so many times he could have just blown by and he was just doing too much.
But he
Like-
wasn't getting booked.
He wasn't getting what?
He wasn't getting
He wasn't
robbed for
taking
his
it from him.
cookies.
But do you have a shot clock violation though?
No, I'm just saying he ends up taking that step back instead of just blowing by dudes. Like he had a good first step
I
back,
think-
man. And he wants to
I think what
keep doing
Shumpert
tween cross.
But what Shumpert explained was why I think he's so much more easily guarded in the playoffs
Yeah.
when you're playing against top defenses. But as far as just the conversation of handle, nah, his handle was tough.
Definitely.
His handle was tough. Like it's
Katino
hard to
Mobley.
beat.
Katino Mobley is one of the biggest reasons I am a Clipper fan. He was awesome for us. I love him.
I'm
Him
trying.
and Sam
We didn't
Cassell.
forget nobody else. I think that's pretty much.
He was a bucket.
Him and
Sure.
Sam Cassell, man, that was a great backcourt with experience. And Cat, he was able to score from all three levels, and he could post up smaller guards. Like, there's not that many dudes in the league that can do all that today, right now.
I agree.
Posting up smaller guards.
Oh, we did. Me personally, I ain't gonna front. Even though his career he didn't really pan out to how he was supposed to be, Tyreke Evans was wilding the league out on the handle tip.
He was nice.
Tyreke Evans on the handles, he was wild. He was putting
I always
Kobe in the
thought, though,
blender. He put
Tyreek-
Ron Artest in the blender. He put Gilbert in the blender. He was wild in the first 1.5 years.
He
You
was
know,
another
Miguel.
guy.
when you lack a certain motor, for me, that like Tyreek was so talented. So one of those we was talking earlier. One of those Magic type size point guard. He wasn't 6'9", but he was a bigger guard,
like 6'6".
right? But he was a bigger guard at the point guard position. His motor was just so trash.
You think it was
Like-
his motor? I don't think.
Yo.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was his motor. Then I also think, and this could be me nitpicking, I just felt like him was just all right-handed, and I think better defenders figured that out. Wow. Everything with him is all going right.
Wasn't he a rookie of the
Tyreke
year?
Evans?
He was rookie of the year.
Not rookie of the year.
The next
Yeah.
year he got hurt. He came back. Isaiah Thomas, the point guard, they tried to put him at the 3.
Yeah. That's
Yep, that's
Like,
exactly
that's-
what happened.
What like
You know who has an underrated handle? My boy Darren Williams back in the day.
oh
mixing
his,
fools.
his snatch was crazy.
He was
Oh,
mixing
fact.
fools.
His snatch back was crazy. I ain't gonna
Oh.
front.
It was
Oh,
crazy.
it's
He was
Smith.
mixing dudes.
Ish
His
Smith.
right, his right to left cross, like left to right to left crossover right in front of you was
Mhm.
like how you not taking this ball. And to me, I wouldn't teach kids to dribble like him because it was so straight up and down.
Mm.
He's
Who you talking about, Zach?
Darren Williams.
Darren Williams. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Very
He hit it quick. That was
down.
the
You're
thing.
not getting low with it.
I
His
think it's
first
just
2
the
years
speed of it.
too.
Killing you.
Yo,
The
his
speed
first
of it
2
right to
years. His first 2 years, Melo handle was crazy.
Why do you think it didn't last like that?
I don't know. I had the remember the DVD. I had the DVD Ankle Breakers.
Yeah. Which
I don't
one?
niggas
Is it, wait,
remember
hold on,
that,
hold on.
but-
Is it this one or is it the first one? Hold on.
Right, they
It's
got
the
2
second
parts.
one.
You know,
Mello, yeah,
I
he
got
made
both
both of them. I actually came across them DVDs the other week in the basement on accident.
this
Yup, yup, that
Yup.
one, yup.
one. Baron
Yup.
Davis. Baron Davis.
Yup.
Yo,
He
put
is-
that. Let me see that
Yup.
again. Let me see that again, Dom.
Ankle Breakers. I had the DVD.
Oh shit, I ain't seen that in a while.
Yup.
Yeah.
What's the first one had Marbury on it, right?
I don't have the first one, sadly. But and then I had this dunks one. It had the 2000 dunk contest on the back.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. Let me go into the because I just came
Brother,
across
make me
these.
tight because I had all of them, gave them all of them away.
Dude, Tracy McGrady had a good handle for like his size too.
Yeah, T-Mac.
T-Mac
He
had a
was
tight
fun to
handle.
watch. I used to watch him every time he was on national television. It was like an event for me when he was on Houston. Jamal Crawford, you guys mentioned him.
Yeah, we mentioned him.
Yeah, Marbury's is a good one too.
Oh, there we go.
Tim Hardaway. I'm guessing you guys.
Gotta have this.
Nobody
one.
mentioned Tim Hardaway. What's
Oh, yeah,
that?
That's
right
insane.
Which one was that?
Tim Hardaway?
No, that Jordan. Was it DVD?
Oh my Zach, bro. I had that DVD, and ever since I moved to my house like 15 years ago, I never saw it again. And I'm so like hurt about it because it has 6 classic games on the back. Like this is what I be talking. These are the DVDs that made me like gave me my baseline history knowledge as a kid. But I thought I knew it all because of this shit. So then I was like, yeah, I really don't know anything. So I went to take it to the next level, and now I'm doing this dime line thing. But that was my initial knowledge.
Jordan
of
put out
watching
a
Jordan.
shitty movie too. Nobody talks about.
What movie?
He put out a shitty movie. It was a shit. I won't ever forget. It was only in IMAX theaters. It wasn't in every theater.
The
I
Ultimate
went all the way
Jordan?
to
That
the
was
city to see that shit. The shit was like an hour, and that shit was a piece of shit.
What you talking about, Mel?
I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was only an IMAX movie, bro.
No,
And it was a piece of shit. It wasn't remember he had one called like Fly With Me. That was the fire one.
Come Fly With Me.
Nah, Come Fly With Me, a
was
classic.
right. He put some shit out after that. That was a piece of shit. That was only in select theaters, bro. Nobody talks about that.
I feel you. What Zach's DVD was though is like it's like all these individual Jordan movies mixed into one. But the best part about it was it had 6 games on the finals that he played.
Yup.
In. That
Yup.
gave me my baseline knowledge of the game, like of the old school
Damn, I
game.
never seen that one.
You remember
Scottie
this
Pippen,
one?
bro?
Oh,
Scottie
with
Pippen as a
classics.
kid.
They had a DVD?
NBA Showman, Spectacular Guards of the NBA.
The
Here
Hardwood
go
Classic
Dunks
for me.
one.
I have that one too, Zach.
Dunks.
Here go my Ankle Breakers 2. I don't know. I got the first one too. Yeah, and then the Jordan one, it has like the whole games, like all the Come Fly With Me.
Which DVD was it when the owner of the 76ers was like, man, AI never practices. Imagine if he practiced. He has the handle is just good and he never practice. I'm like, what? You know, practice was a big thing. I'm like, how the fuck? It made me stop liking AI. I'm like, how the fuck he don't practice? Everybody got to practice to become good. But I didn't understand like how nice he was. But he's like, he had the moves
Zach.
and he speeds up time 3.
Yeah.
Here's the question of the day, though. Do you have something that you can pop those DVDs in and watch them?
Right.
Actually, I do.
Xbox and PlayStation.
You got something?
Actually, I do.
That's dope.
Look at his face. Flea hype.
Oh shit. Okay.
I got Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh, that's a portable joint?
Yeah, it plugs right into your computer.
That's pretty
Oh,
worth
that's
it.
fine.
Now we all have one of those. Okay.
I got to get one of those. I'm gonna go to like a thrift shop try to
Dude,
get one of
Yeah,
those.
you didn't think I had some, did you? You didn't think I did.
I swear I was like, let me see if Zach got a DVD player or
He
something.
just
to
got
watch
these
that.
joints.
I had a VCR, but it finally broke down on me. I got to get another VCR. I actually had a VCR. I'm trying to find that other one.
Yo, Zach,
That's
what
insane.
are the
Dom,
games?
Dom, you know what a VCR is?
Oh, come on. I used one as a kid. I have VHS. I'm not that young. That's the thing, though. But there's literally kids like 5 years younger than me that have never used it in their life. So like, that
They have
shit is
no
different.
idea what it is, right?
I don't know about no idea what it is, but they've never used it.
Because, like, this is literally my freshman year of high school tape. Like, I literally have stuff like this still to this day.
See, that's
I got the
fire.
DVD.
That's dope.
Hey, Zach, can you read the games off the back of that Jordan thing again? It was 93.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I got you.
Flu game. Game 6, 98,
Mm-mm.
69-point game. I remember thinking Pippen was so good. I was because I'd always heard about Mike my whole life. I was like, damn, Pippen's so good. I remember as a
All
kid,
right,
that's
it's 86 when he had 63, 69 and 90 against Cleveland. Game 4, 93 when he had 55. The flu game, and then game 6.
Yeah,
and then on the other DVD they have 10 greatest moves and dunks, slam dunk contest. They got a bunch of different, like it's the ultimate. Yeah, because I still got all the. I'm missing the game one. It's
Did you ever?
somewhere, but.
Did you guys ever have this one? Where they talk about clutch players?
Shootouts, yeah. Yo, I just seen a meme, not a meme, but I just seen a post. They said it's only been 821 buzzer beaters in the NBA.
Like a game-winning buzzer beater?
Yeah, only 821 of them. I'm like,
and that has
damn.
to be at the buzzer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all got me digging. Look at who remembers this.
What's that?
Nah,
is it the Magic Johnson? Better
No.
basketball?
The better.
I never liked that.
Chauncey
that seems
Billups?
like too like.
Better
I think it was like a
basketball
scam or
series?
something like nah.
The better basketball series.
I remember they used to advertise to like train you on. Magic Johnson had it, remember? And then Steve Nash had his own. They used to advertise for it on NBA TV.
Hey, Zach, you got any slam magazines over there?
I don't even want to talk about that, man. My parents, I don't even want to talk. That's like a sensitive spot, bro. They threw my stuff away, man.
Oh man,
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's so whack.
Yeah, like I had slam, but like Source, Vibe, like I had all that stuff, bro. I went away to college, came back, they had nothing for me.
Sorry to laugh. I got to put the mic.
They had nothing for me.
Dog.
Did you ever have these ones, like the Jordan ones? There was one for Larry Bird, and then one for Magic. I had both.
Yep, I had those. I got Magics around here somewhere too.
They had a couple. They only had 3 classic games on these though. Bird 92 regular season game versus Portland. I don't even know if I ever watched that one. And then game 7 against Dominique. I watched that one. And then the game where he dropped 60 against Atlanta. I watched that when they were like going crazy on the bench. And Magic's has 92 All-Star game and then game 6 and then his first game.
And then lastly, this what introduced me to the game. I had it on VHS.
Fish That Saved Pittsburgh?
Oh, that's a classic movie right there.
Dude, I still haven't seen it. I have to see it.
That introduced me to the game. And then, I've been looking for this.
How you got introduced to the game, Flea?
Ooh,
Great question.
my pops, but okay, so the introduction to the game, the first introduction to the game obviously is the Knicks, right? But the first game I remember vividly sitting down with my pops and like watching is game 1, 92 NBA Finals, Mike versus Clyde. That's the shoulder shrug when he hit the 6 threes in the first half or some shit like that.
I've seen that first game.
But I was watching that live. Like that's
amazing.
That's the first on the little box TV. I'm sitting on a beanbag. Like that's the first introduction to. Oh shit!
92 Finals game 1. Everybody saying Clyde. Some people saying Clyde is better than Mike. He just playing Portland, Oregon, and Mike comes out and makes the statement. That's your introduction.
That's the first game I could vividly remember.
That's amazing.
Watching.
That's
dope.
And I appreciate you, OG. First game watching. Definitely. After that, you fall down the rabbit hole of the Knicks. But
have you ever rewatched it since?
That game?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Recently, like in the last year or so, probably not. But I remember watching it again just to see if I felt the same way I felt back then.
Right.
Like 5-6 years old. But
I look at the game so differently now that I'm
Right.
looking at shit that I know I wasn't looking at back then. I'm looking at how Mike moves without the ball. I'm looking at how, you know, Scotty defends. I'm looking at, you know, that Portland team. Yo, real shit. We all the basketball lovers in here, we need to have a real conversation about that Portland team.
Oh no,
Underrated.
definitely.
Huh?
They are definitely underrated. And yo, you know what? And I was just talking about this the other day, and I know you just saw my post, and I was going to talk about this later on when I go on live. I meant to talk about it the other night about point guards, and you know how much I give Rod Strickland his props for not making the All-Star game, But when you really think about it on why he didn't make it, because he played in the West, and you got to remember the guys he had to come behind. You had Kevin Johnson, Tim Hardaway, John Stockton, and I said Peyton, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It was gonna be hard for Rod, no question.
Yeah, you had Peyton, yeah, Kevin
But I
Johnson.
I look at that Portland team, and I look at
Terry Porter was very underrated. He don't
as
get
soon
enough
as they got Rick Adelman,
Cliff
they
Robinson
started
was
to go
my guy.
like this. They won. I was looking at it with Fabian actually, and there's a stretch of them winning 57 plus games, like 3-4 years in a row, in the finals against Detroit, then in the conference finals the next year, then back in the finals again the year after. Like that team was damn good. They just couldn't get over the hump, obviously, but they was damn good.
Weren't they the first seed in 91?
We say, Dom?
Weren't they the first seed in 91 and then Magic and the Lakers beat them?
Yeah, they upset them. Yep.
Oof.
And also too, 3 of their members they passed away now too.
Yeah, Cliff,
Duckworth, Robinson, and Kersey. And
Jerome
Duckworth
Kersey.
is a guy.
Kersey was tough. Jerome Kersey was.
4 of them then, if you count Drazen.
Yeah, Drazen too. And Duckworth comes from. People don't know he's from the Chicagoland area. Duckworth went to Thornridge High School, the same high school that produced the great Quinn Buckner.
Mm.
Yep.
Where did Quinn Buckner go to college again?
Indiana.
Okay. What is that, early 80s?
70s.
No, 70s. They won the championship, right? He won the championship.
Undefeated team.
Yeah, with Sean May's father, Scott May.
That's got to be later in the
Flea,
70s, right?
Flea is on to something because that Portland team was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And I think Dime that's something like I think of you, Dime, because I think they had like some goofy things happen. Like I think people got hurt, series they didn't necessarily play well in.
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately though they suffered from not a true number 2 to Drexler.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Drexler was good enough to be a number 1 on a chip team?
I think he was if he had a number. I don't think he could like in that era solely by himself. As I think the guys that had help, put it like this, Dime, I don't think he's no different than the guys who had help. I don't think it's as far as people think.
So you got him over Harden as a player?
I do personally.
Feel you.
I think put it like this, it's good as much as I like Terry Porter. If Terry Porter was consistent, I'm not saying he wasn't that as good or better, but if he was as consistent as Joe Dumars was for Isaiah Thomas, Portland might have a chip.
I can agree with that.
Portland kind of has the same thing going that Detroit has. A lot of really good role players with a great player in Drexler.
Yeah. And like you said, and the sad story about that, they didn't give Petrovic a chance to shine. Because I think if they would have gave him a chance to shine, history would have been different. In my opinion, and that's just my opinion. Because we saw.
Yeah, I don't think they knew what to do with that. They didn't know what to do with that Turbo, and it was a different time as far as letting foreigners really rock. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but when he got to Jersey, it was like, oh my gosh, he was getting buckets. He was definitely a borderline all-star for sure. There was no question.
Yeah, they did play Ainge over. Flea said they played Ainge over Drazen. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I got to run, fellas, but good talking as always.
But you know what's so crazy? Yeah. But you know what's so crazy? I did not know this until because I was so young, bro. I did not know that the Phoenix Suns played the Portland Trailblazers in the conference finals.
The Phoenix Suns play who? Portland?
Yeah, in the 92,
Yeah.
92 conference finals. I was like, yo. That Phoenix team don't get enough props too. We gotta talk about that Phoenix Suns team. Because you gotta remember, before they was nothing until they got Kevin Johnson and drafted Jan Marley.
Who else they had?
They had Tom Chambers. Because remember, Kevin Johnson was with Cleveland, but he wasn't getting no run because of Mark Price and all of those guys. And they got traded in the mid-season. And Phoenix was like dead in the waters.
No, that's a good point, Turbo. They were. I think the reason why is because it literally was that 1 year. You know, Cedric Sabalas gets hurt, and then
No, but I'm talking
Richard
about the
Dumas
year.
gets on crack like right away.
No, I'm talking about like that year before, because Phoenix wasn't making the playoffs because right after the Larry Nance and the era,
Yeah.
they kind of went downhill. And then you got to remember they made a mid-season trade getting Kevin Johnson and I forgot who else was in that trade because they were doing like a feed on YouTube. It's on YouTube. They were doing like the anniversary of the Phoenix Suns franchise, and they were going through all the eras. And I was like, oh shit, like that's crazy. Like I knew Kevin Johnson was with Cleveland, but he didn't get enough. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, wow, that's great. That's great. And they made the playoffs because they were like dead in the water. And ever since then, they've been rocking. But I didn't know because, 92, 91, I was watching basketball, but I wasn't like paying attention to like details. Like if it was on, I'm just watching it. Like if the Chicago Bulls played, like the Knicks or the Orlando Magic because of Shaq, then I'm like, I'm going outside to go play ball. Like I'll catch the highlights later, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that Phoenix Suns team was definitely underrated and overlooked for sure.
We was having a conversation on Twitter. Some people think Kevin Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Personally, I think he's a really good player, but I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't see Tim Hardaway making the Hall of Famer. Like, I don't think Tim is a Hall of Famer, and he's from my city, but I don't think he was a Hall of Famer. But when you look at their careers, they're almost identical.
Yeah.
Tim scored a few more 1,000 points, but other than that, they're pretty much the same.
But you're thinking about it. Look at the franchises that they made, that they turned around and made them fun.
True.
Consistent. True. And they were consistent, making the All-Star team. You got to remember, what was the Warriors before Tim Hardaway got here? What were the Phoenix Suns before Kevin Johnson got there?
Yeah, but did that make you a Hall of Famer? Because that's
it doesn't make you a Hall of Famer.
Right.
I know it don't make you a Hall of Famer, but it's tough. It's like anybody can get in now in the Hall
That's what Gilbert Arenas been saying. Like almost anybody's getting in. It's not. It used to be for the elite only. Now you just submitting. How you feel about Chauncey getting in? He's not in yet, but he's up.
I don't think he is either.
Right.
He was beefing about that too. Bro. He was in his feelings.
Dom's argument was, what Finals MVP is not in the Hall of Fame?
And see, that's why that award became kind of absurd in recent memory. Because I don't care what anybody says. If you really remember that finals, either you was going to give it to Curry because they the winning team because the adjustments was based on what Curry was doing, or you was going to give it to LeBron for the crazy numbers he put up. Right. And he should never have gotten that. That was a joke.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Chauncey, to me, that's like the exception, but I don't think that's the rule.
Right.
No, I agree.
So, I mean, basically what you're saying with Chauncey, you get in because you was the finals MVP and arguably one of the biggest finals upsets ever. So forget the rest of your career. We're looking at
Right.
one season, one moment. That's basically what
Right.
Yep.
Right.
you're saying.
But you gotta
And
remember,
not
Then
the
they were
fact that
saying
he
he
played
made
for all the
every
but you gotta
team a
remember,
contender.
Chauncey's career almost went downhill.
That's what I'm saying, Turbo. Like, we forget that. Like,
But
there's the Boston, there's Minnesota. Like,
Denver.
but here's the crazy part. Jack, because you're a little older than me, so you would understand. He was the the number 3 draft pick in Boston, and he got traded around the fit in his rookie season.
yeah, it was crazy.
That's insane.
It was crazy. Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly. That's why I don't like what we've done with the Hall of Fame. I don't think Tony Parker was a Hall of Famer.
no, but you gotta remember, but
Ooh.
Tony Parker is different because he was international.
No, but see, I would even say
It's
I would say Manu more than Tony because Manu won the gold medal.
That's true. But I think because he was so big in the internet, and like we say, and we forget it is the Basketball Hall of Fame. So
But let's remember, right? Because I had no problem when they say that, right, Turbo? But let's walk us through this. Manu was a beast overseas before coming over, right?
Oh yeah. Facts.
Tony Parker wasn't that.
Right. He was a puppy.
See, like they get the international nod because they're international.
Yeah.
Not because of their career, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect
Like Mano's the only one to me that has that. You could say like he's international because of what he did on the court internationally, not just being an international player. But I think we say they're international is like, well, it has to count.
No,
like,
no. I agree. I agree with you with Mano over Tony Parker, but I think that narrative, because he played international, that's gonna bump him in, and
I agree.
And he was a Finals MVP too. So
and that was kind of absurd too. If you go back and watch that final,
but at the time they were letting fans vote.
Were the fans voting, or was that the media?
No, the fans was voting for the MVPs around that time in the finals.
It was? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they were letting fans vote for the finals MVP. Because remember, in the game, they'll be like, text such and such for the finals MVP.
Let me see. I want to look. Not saying I don't believe you, but I don't remember. I gotta look this up.
I remember they'll be like, yo, text for finals MVP. Now I don't know how they do it now, but I know like in the middle, like, okay, it's game 7. They'll be like, and the game is close, like 3 minutes. Who you think should be the finals MVP? But I believe fans was voting for.
Hold on, I think I'm asking it wrong. Have fans. There we go. It's not saying. Huh. Because I honestly, I'm gonna give Turbo the benefit of the doubt. I honestly don't remember that.
I believe they were letting fans vote. They were letting fans vote. Now I could be wrong. They changed. Like I said, they probably changed it throughout the years. But I remember like seeing like certain games.
Or maybe their vote had a certain percentage, but it wasn't all the vote. I could see that.
Okay.
But
I don't
find
think
it hard to believe they'll let a fan.
They let fans participate though. That's
yeah.
But I don't think the fans got all the percentage. I think some media had a little bit to do it, just like the media and the players can vote for the All-Star game now.
They vote for the MVP too.
Yeah. But no, they were voting for the All-Star game. Because you remember back in the day, we had to go to McDonald's to fill our voting thing.
Oh, hell yeah, for the All-Star game. Remember that.
Remember? And you got yeah, I used to do that a lot.
I'm
But
looking
they
at it.
let fans. They let fans. But I'm sure media had something to do with it too. Media had something to do with it too.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, man. It's good
Yeah.
chopping it up with you fellas,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Me
about
too.
to
I'm
head
about
to
to go
Lincoln Park.
outside
I'm about to
too.
head to Lincoln Park because it's gonna be a movie tonight.
Who
Man,
playing?
y'all, good luck with that. It's like 110 degrees here today. We got this humidity.
Who playing in
So
Lincoln? Tubbo?
Um,
Unlimited or high school?
no, high school. Run down. PD Nation. Who else? Who else? Beacon Elite. Yeah, it's like the final. It's like the final four. It's like the final four.
All right, man. I'm probably gonna watch it on Clash TV or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. And yo, bro, Africa Park this past Sunday was a movie.
All right, my man won that shit. What's that shit? Little kids, Victorious, whatever it's called.
Oh, you talking about the 12-year-olds?
Yeah, that's dudes from my Kenny from my hood from
Yeah,
OCP.
yeah.
They got a good program over there.
That game was personal, bro.
Where?
Yeah, it was
I
personal.
see Calvin be there taking the pictures and shit.
Yeah, he's a photographer now.
He's a photographer. That's crazy.
Whoever thought that? And I really thought Cal was gonna be like not make it to the pros, but I thought he had a good chance of playing college ball at a
College?
low D1. At a low D1.
He never grew. He never
Yeah,
grew.
that was
Once
his
he
problem.
got in high school, he ain't never grow. He
Yeah.
can't hop step 1,000 times
And then he was
in high
and then,
school.
and then he fell in love. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
We joke with that. Yeah, he just got married. He married. He about to have another kid too. His little
Right.
son is nice too.
His son is nice?
His son is nice for an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Damn, that's fire.
Yeah, I was like, wow, yeah, he got something. He got something. But nah, we had Snipes came out and sponsored the whole thing, gave out shirts. You know what I mean? They had the food truck, everything. They were printing out T-shirts, everything. It was crazy. It was crazy, bro. And they was, huh?
They don't got Unlimited no more, right? It's just
Nah. It's gonna come back next year. But you got to remember, this is the first year coming back, and
right.
It was a lot of
That was
politics
slow.
behind
Right.
it. Yeah, it was a lot of politics behind it. But now we got better board members, backing us up now. So that's good. And hopefully by next year we should have the courts. The court should be better.
Right, yeah, the court mad little.
Yeah. But then you gotta remember when it rains, that shit is like it takes like 3 hours for that shit to dry. So it's like that messes us
Well,
up.
the gym's over there. Get a rain site. 72
No.
is something.
Huh?
I said get a rain site. 72 right around the corner.
I know, but that shit is.
Yeah, that shit always going on.
It's always something behind it. But we'll figure something out.
All right, my boy.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yes, sir.
Off this. Ain't leaving shit.